Alright, what's up guys? I just saw the new Han Solo movie, so I decided to do a review of it. I was actually pretty worried about this movie, like I think a lot of people were, because I didn't really like The Last Jedi. The director changes were concerning, and this is probably the least excited I can remember people being about a new Star Wars movie, but I actually left the theater pretty happy. It was a lot better than I expected it to be. So, one of the main concerns I had coming into this movie was how long it was. I didn't think a Han Solo anthology film needed to be 2 hours and 15 minutes long, and I was worried that it might drag a bit at times, but after watching the movie, I actually did not mind how long it was at all. I was actually very entertained and interested in what was going on throughout the entire movie. There wasn't any time at all when I was watching it that I was bored. Another concern coming in, which I think was a fairly common one, was I wasn't sure if someone who isn't Harrison Ford being Han could work, but I was very wrong about that. I thought Alden Ehrenreich was great as a young Han Solo. When I was watching the movie, I never thought, like, this guy isn't Han Solo. And probably the last concern, although I'm not really sure how much of a concern it was as much as just like something people were starting to question, was Lando's role in the movie. I heard a decent amount of people saying things like, I feel like this movie should actually be called Lando because it seemed like he was the character getting the most hype coming into the movie. Again, I don't know how concerning that actually would have been, but I mean, some people might have even wanted that, but I didn't feel like that was the case at all after watching the movie. Lando does have a big role in the movie, obviously, but for me, I didn't even feel like he was the second or maybe even the third most significant character in the movie. I thought Lando's character was very good to have in the movie without actually taking over the movie. Another thing about this movie that I really liked were just the effects and the scenery in this movie were great throughout the entire movie. I remember thinking so many times during the movie, oh, that looked really cool, and I know that's obviously a big thing Star Wars is known for, but honestly, this movie was probably one of my favorite Star Wars movies in just those aspects. I also thought all the fighting and action scenes were really fun to watch. I wasn't ever thinking anything like, that was stupid, or this is taking too long during any of them, which is kind of going back to what I said earlier about this movie being entertaining throughout. I just feel like the pace of this movie was great. None of it ever dragged on for me. The last thing I want to talk about with this movie is the ending and the lead up to the end. Not the very last Han and Lando scene, but what happens before that I thought was really good. I was really entertained throughout like the final conflict. The anticipation leading up to what ultimately happened I thought was really interesting. I kept going back and forth on who I thought was going to do what and who I thought might betray someone. And then what ultimately ended up happening did not disappoint me at all. I thought it was a great ending. So my overall thoughts on the movie are that it was a really good movie. It wasn't like mind-blowing, it wasn't the best Star Wars movie I've seen, but it was a good movie that I really enjoyed and was really happy that I saw. Alright, so I think that'll wrap up this review. I know it's late, but I actually just saw the last Avengers movie, Infinity War, so I think I might do a review on that next, and yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.